Okay. Hello, Miami.
Hi.
Great to see you. Very nice to meet you. Today we're going to do a lecture, a mini workshop that you're going to take a decision. I'm sure you all know about any kind of advices. Maybe you read a lot of books, some lectures, been all kinds of workshops. Maybe you took a life coach to try to establish a relationship. But I can guarantee you that today it's going to be real different. I'm sure it will be new to you, things that I'm going to say today. And it's going to be very, very practical. Like you are going to get out today with practical decisions that you're going to take. Our goal is to end around 90 minutes. After that, we'll have time for Q&A, and during the lecture, we're going to do live coaching, and for some of you, not the opportunity. So, a little bit that you can understand really what I'm talking about. A little bit about myself. My name is Tal Kidishman, and as you can see, I've been born in a religious house. I hope my English will be good enough. If not, not hesitate to ask or to help me. So, I'm going to speak a little about myself, my personal story, because it really relates to how to look at life. And you will see how much it will influence about the relationship that you're going to choose. Okay, so as you can see, I went to, how much Israelis per year? Okay, so I'm explaining for the others. Okay, so when I got to the army, I went to Givati Brigade, to the special units of Givati Brigade. I served in the beginning of the millennium, and in this period of time in Israel, it was one of the hardest times in Israel. It's called the Second Intifada. It was a few years that was so many terror attacks all around the country, like shooting on people, stabbing people, terrorist suicide and explode themselves in the buses, shooting missiles on settlements, and it was a very, very hard time this years. And in these years, when I was in the army, our duty was to lead fighting in Gaza Strip. Gaza Strip is here, like it's the most dangerous place in Israel to fight in, much more than Lebanon and of course in Yehuda and Shomron. So we were in this area, and our job was the leading force in Gaza Strip operation. I went to a lot of operations. My unit was specialized on explosives. It's better here? Like this? Echo? Less echo? Shout? It's okay? So in Gaza Strip, every operation that we went in is like a war, exactly a war. Like everyone, when getting everyone go out and shooting on us. It's good in now.
Yeah.
Better?
Yeah.
Great.
Big applause to Menahem for pulling the microphone.
So in every entering for in any operation, when you go in, we're like it's a fighting. Every operation. So we use this tool, this armed vehicle that we went in with him, and it was closed except the commander who was here, but not like the picture was all covered to protect him from the shooting, because they shoot all the time and we shoot back. This tool is perfect against bullets and against grenades, but you know what it can protect? This RPG, it's a missile that can, this is what it's doing. work? See, it doesn't work. It's an example, like if he hits this tool, like he blew himself all, and no one can survive this. And another problem in Gaza Strip, that everywhere they put explosives, like under the roads, they just dig in it, put explosives, and when you go on them, like it's explodes, so it's a real big problem. So we have this tool, it's called D9, it's like a big tractor, a huge, it's like you can see the man there. It's huge, and this is what it can do. Like I saw it in my eyes, doing things like that, it just go, and this is a high building, but a low building, like you just drive and take it with him. And this tool, like what it did, it was digging his capsule. You understand each other, and just drive, and everything was exploding on him. And we went to a lot of operations, and one of the operations went to the south of Gaza Strip. It's called Rafiah, and Rafiah, it's like the dangerous place. It's the most crowded place in the world, and the most terrorists are there, and all the ammunition go to there, to all Gaza Strip from there, because it's near to Egypt's border. So they make tunnels to smuggle the weapons. And we go there, and when we go there, we do a lot of things in one time. So we went like 120 tools, armed vehicles, tanks, drones, helicopters, huge force to go in there. And when we go in there, we started going, and we started filming the shootings, and we are regular to get shot. But this time it's different. Like the shooting didn't stop even for a sec. All the time, every few seconds, a grenade exploding near to us, and we are full of adrenaline. But still, we know we protect by the armed vehicle, and we keep going in. We go in, and we shooting back all the time. And then all of us get stopped. We hear in the radio that they tell us that we stopped because they put the concrete cubes that blocked us from getting to Rafiah. We are waiting for the D9 to come and move it. But he's very slow, he's behind us, and in this time we are standing and always shooting. Suddenly, boom! Big explosions, all my armed vehicle getting shattered, shaking. We see the fire of the explode. We got shot by RPG. Luckily, it was a miracle. It was very close to us. He missed us just in a few centimeters. Like it's a miracle. It was very, very close to us when he shot it. It was so scary. But even though it's so scary, now it's really, really scary, because we know that if he missed us once, it's only a matter of time that he's going to go out again. And maybe this time he's going to hit us. And it's a very complicated situation, because we can't do almost nothing. We can't move to skip away, because there is a tank in front of us and in back of us. And we can't go down of the armed vehicle, because we'll die from the shooting and the grenades. So we can only stay. So the only thing we can do is only to shoot to the place when he came for us, to not take his head off again, and come near to us and shoot on us again. So the commander that is up there is always shooting, not stopping shooting. And after he's shooting with the machine gun, it's getting warm and gets stuck. He takes it down, he keeps shooting with his private personal weapon. And we give him a spare machine gun, he connected it, keep shooting, boom! Another explosion. He was, again, very, very near to us, but he missed. It was so scary. That night, after a lot of operation that I did in the past, it was the first time that I understood that maybe tonight I'm not coming back. Maybe tomorrow I'm the article about the one who died last night. I'm sitting here to my friend, a religious one, and I'm asking, are you praying on us? And tell me long time ago. And then I felt the hardest feeling that I think someone can feel, more than death, more than fear. It's the feeling of helpless, that it's nothing you can do. After all the training that I did, nothing that I can do even to try to protect myself, to fight with him. You're just sitting and waiting. Boom. Third explosion. My friend that was a driver on another tool told me after this operation that it was like that far that he hit us. It was a very luck, and then some other armed vehicle came from another angle and killed this terrorist. It was very we were like shocked in this operation. We continued in this operation. We see a lot of miracles. Unfortunately, one has died and few was injured in this operation. And when we came back and we went to the funeral of the soldier who died, like it was the first time that, maybe it will sound funny to you, that I really understood that I really can die. And like, I think that only if someone, it's almost happened to him, he can understand that he really can die. And this is what happened to me in that day. And I told myself, if I can die, I must live. So I'm not going to miss the slide. And this is what's guiding me. And this is one of the things that I want to talk to you about you today, not missing this life. And then I started to search, what is living? Like I was really succeeding. People tell me I was looking good, like now I'm not looking good. And everything went well. I was very happy of life, but I still knew I need to search something, and I started to learn a lot of things. פנימיות התורה, חסידות, Kabbalah. And also I started to learn all kinds of methods like coaching and all other things. And I always was in research, and in the last 17 years with our researches, I got so many great things to know about. And in the last 13 years, I treated like hundreds of meetings with people. I lectured more than 60,000 people. And I developed a method we called AIA. Avi Yochai is one of the students at one of my workshops.
That's how we call it, elite.
Yeah, this is cool. And today I'm going to use this method to help you establish a relationship. Today we're going to talk about the 4 steps to get married without confirmation. The first step that we are going to learn is the goal we aim for is right. We need to understand all our life is like going from point A to point B, right? So is point B is the right thing to go? This is what we're going to figure out, and you're going to be surprised, but you need to be open-minded about what I'm going to tell you today. The second step is even it's possible to go there. Like sometimes we don't believe it, even if the point B is right. The question is, can I get there? Do I really believe can I get there? Like I want this, but I have not a chance that I get there. I will establish a good relationship and happy life. And the third step is, it will be point A, how to find my first self, I will explain it later, and finding your second self, how to get, like, this is the real thing, like how to get from point A to point B. Like, we need to know what is point B, we need to believe that we can get point B, and we'll talk about the way to get to point B. Okay, so now I want you to think a little bit creative and outside of the box. I want to know is this even the right thing to want to get married? Maybe it's not. And today I'm going to break this belief that after today you don't want to get married, believe me. He's regretting to invite me. Time, where we begin?
Time. It's really my business.
At least you're admitted to business.
Okay. And the second thing is a new way how to get the new goal. We're going to learn today. Okay, so why aiming to get married is really problematic? Because when you aim to something, the mean justifies the goal. Someone will say, okay, I want to get married, so maybe I will do some things to get the goal. Not always the right things, okay? Also, people sometimes are being themselves. Like, if I will be myself, maybe she or he won't want to marry me, so I need to play it a little bit. And what will happen if you go like this to meetings, you get out of the movie after you get married, and then you see the real thing, and then it's sometimes not going all together, and this is why we can see so many relationships are not going well. So this is what's the problem to want to get married. So this is not point B. Most of the people think this is point B, to get married, but it's a real problem. So what is the right point B? Okay, this is step one, the right goal. Finding the second half. Like getting married, it's like something to take, like to do a V, to say, okay, I did it. But we need to search for another thing. The second half. The person that I can really be related with, to connect, to love. Not just being with the title, getting married. And why it's so important to search for the second half. Maybe some of you think, of course I will, but we'll see soon that it's not so obvious. So, why it's so important now today to not just want to get married, but want to get a real good relationship with love and passion. Because today it's different. People can tell me sometimes, but in the past our parents, like, we got married and stayed for years together, and almost even sometimes didn't know each other, and even though they get fights, they stay together, they didn't divorce. But it's really different this generation. Like we can see in the work world that before, in the old times, in our parents or grandfathers, people went to work every day, woke up early in the morning to a work that mostly, all of them, didn't love to go to, didn't feel passion to go to, didn't connect to. And why they went to work? Because you need to work, because you need to bring money, because you need pension, and they can go to the same work for 30, 40 years just for work, to get the money. And today, people are staying at work just for the money. People are, even if they love the work, they can stay more than a few years. Like we can change because we want to be connected. People are not sometimes staying at home, move to their parents. But I want to work in a place that I'm not connected to. And if they must do, they hated it and they feel like dying going every day to this work, right? Can you relate to that? Yeah. Right? So this is the same thing in a relationship. Like today, people don't want to suffer. People don't want only to be in the title, getting married. People want to be connected. So this is why we can't miss this. We can't, it's not like a
Treat.
like a bonus. It's not. It's a must today to establish a relationship like this. And people said, no, of course. I will never get married with someone I don't love, I don't feel connected to. Of course, it's obvious. So it's not that obvious, and I tell you why. Because our decision system is very, very, why it's not okay. It's very influenced by the emotional state that we into. Everyone is in every area. The emotional state that we're in taking influence about our decisions. It's about work, it's about everything. But in a relationship, we have a lot of emotions. A lot of emotions, like the simple one, we want to get to be with someone. We want to be together. Also, we don't want to feel like an exception, like we are weird or different. People are feeling not convenient sometimes to go to a family meals or holidays because I'm the only one who still didn't get married, and always the when you go to a wedding or sometimes the arguments come. When you get married, that you already can feel strange. Whereas sometimes fears, like maybe I will die alone, or maybe I won't have kids. And it's very, very hard. There's a lot of emotion involved. So when a lot of emotion involved, we start to say like, oh, it will be okay, it will get along, we'll make an effort, and when we have love. And to tell you the truth, it's not. We must know how to come with the right state to get the right relationship, because it will influence anyone, this pressure or these hard feelings. And I want to tell you about my crisis that I had. I want to really succeed, very connected to myself, but after I got back in Tshuva, like something is shaking, and sometimes you don't know. And I got married, and it was the wrong decision. I knew it. I know it's not right, but everybody tell me it will be okay, it will be arranged, and promised me promises, and I thought it will all be okay, and it didn't. And like I'm saying you, like I did so much effort to make this relationship succeed. Went to coaches, went to do so many things to invest and try to make it happen, to make it right. But after it, I understand just not it. It can't fit because we're different. Like I don't want to blame. She's not okay. I'm not okay. It's just different. It can go together. And I'm not like encouraging divorces or things like this. Like I'm encouraging to try and do everything you can. But the most important thing is to find the right one for you and not get into this problem. Because it will, and it's like today we can't live with this. And like I said, like I told myself, I don't want to miss this life. We only live once. And like, believe me, I'm not a complainer. Like even in the army, on the hardest times, when we went in the hardest training, I was always happy. It's so fun in the army, and everyone was angry at me, shut up, and hit me. I really enjoy it when we was in Gaza Strip, 4 days inside an armed vehicle. Imagine 4 days, you locked in an armed vehicle in Gaza in the summer. And still I was enjoying, always seeing the good things, like we're together, we're making fun. It's such a great experience. We remember it for years. I'm really not a complainer, but I'm telling you, if I couldn't handle that, like most of the people can't handle that, to be in a relationship, it's so hard and not matching. And I think it's all for good. And I took it for a really good place, even with my kids and everything. And today I'm married to my lovely wife, my perfect wife. And I can tell you, it's like another life. Like you can't afford yourself to miss love in this life. And this is what I wanted to get. And it's starting with finding the right one for you. And this is my mission that I took. Like after it happened, I really established this lecture, and after it's a workshop that Chaim was in, and other people went in, and it was a really big success. People told me that it really saved them because they have so many pressures about just doing it. And I had one who came with a ring that he was going to propose to his girlfriend, and told me, but I'm not attracted to her. And told me, oh, you can't marry to someone you're not attracted to. Like, and it was so hard for him. And I told him also, like, think about her. How hard it is to be married to someone that you feel that it's not attracted to you. How hard it is. It's crucial. You can't do it to her. And we try to do a few things, but we see it doesn't, it's not right, and he had the strength to finish it. And it's so important for you to figure it out and find the right one to live the great life. And it was a very great time that we did a lot of these lectures and workshops. So to summarize, step 1, getting married is not a solution. It could be your biggest problem and nightmare. Believe me. And this is the way we need to look. We need to look for second help. This is what we need to search for. And don't think like it won't happen to me, because all our system, our decision system is influenced by the emotional state that it's really hard not to be or growing up without a relationship. So this is what we need to watch it and find the right thing. Okay, question until now? Okay. Step 2. What's your story? Everyone have a story. And I want to know, what is your story? Everyone have a story. It's really hard for me to find a relationship because I'm too old, because I don't have a degree, I'm not pretty enough, I'm overweight. If I had money, then I could get someone. So everyone has a story. What is your story? This is really important to understand what is your if then. And I want you to write it. If I had that, then I've been today in a relationship. Or if I didn't have that, I was today in a relationship. What is your if then? Believe me, you want to change your story. You know it? You can have also, you can write it, or you can have it in the head. Someone want to share? Is if then something is not comfortable with other people?
Maybe Chaim can share.
His story that is living here. He's gone to Israel. I told him to get back. And I want you to think for a minute. Be true with yourself. Just for yourself. What is my story? If I had that, or if I didn't have that, then I could find my second help. If I was, because we must change it today. You have it? Okay. Okay, so the thing that the most prevent from us from fulfilling our full potential is our mind. This is the thing that we first of all must to change. If our mind is not right, we can't get anything. So I want to tell you a story about how the mind is influenced so much. When I was in the officer schools, the officer schools divided for 2 parts. So after I finished the first part, I got the feedback. I got a feedback from my officer that, about the first part, like before we go to the second part, so we can get improved. And he's sitting with me and telling me Tal, you are in the level of 9, 10. But in the reality, you are 7, 8. And I think that you are blocking yourself in your mind. And when he told me that, I thought about it and I saw it so true. Like always in my mind, I was like from the one of the 5, 4 leading in the platoon, in the team, always one of the 4, 5. And I never thought to myself that I can be the best or the first. And I don't think anyone needs to be the first or the best, but if you have this potential, you need to take it out and bring it to life. And when he told me this, that, I like released it. Maybe I can be. And I went to the second part of the course, and when I started there, I had some problems, like
medical problem?
but no, also medical problems. I was injured,
Mishmat?
and mishmat, yeah.
Discipline.
And discipline problem, like in the officer course, discipline problem is I forgot to put this thing on my coat. And, it's a big problem. I go inside. And, things like this. So I was like on my platoon. A commander told me you are on a yellow card. Like you, one more thing, I take you out. And also I got injured, and it's influenced about the degrees there on the tests in the end of the course. And when we finished the course, like we're the internal ceremony, and like every team have his role, and every seat have the name, and like I'm coming to my team row, and I'm looking for my seat. I don't see it, and what happened? Why I'm not here? And suddenly from the other side of the hall, someone calling me and telling me, Tal, come here. And I'm going there and tell me, here's a seat. And I'm telling me, why are we sitting here? And he tell me, this is the outstanding of the team. And I finished the course to be outstanding. And this is what I want to show you, that we need to understand that we are the biggest enemy of ourselves. When someone understands it and start doing the change who is inside of him, this is where breakthrough starts. So I want to break some of your stories, my story also. It's always good to break it. And this is me with a man called Nir Shamir. We were together in a school that we make their lectures, and we've been there all Shabbat. We went there to do lectures, and Nir Shamir, when he was 18, before the army, he was involved in a crash, in a car accident, and his friend died, and he became crippled for his life. He was 2 years in rehabilitation. Yes. And like you can see, he's on a wheelchair. And think about how hard it is. Like you can be 18 without being able to move, to walk. How hard it is. And he couldn't go to the army. And how will he learn? Who will take him to work? And who will want to marry him? And it's so hard. But he didn't give up. And he told himself, I will live. I will continue. And he went and learned and got a degree and got a good job. And he went to dates. But think how it's hard for him to get a date with someone. Like, think about if you would suggest to your friend to date someone who is crippled. Would you? It's not nice. Like you can get offended. Like, why you suggesting me this? Like something is wrong with me, but you suggested me for this. Like it was so hard. It was a challenge, but he didn't give up, and he did all kind of things that he told me to get dates. And once he met someone, and it got really good, and they wanted to get married. But her parents told her, if you are married to him, we stop being in touch with you. So she lived it. She lived it. And I asked him, like, if anyone like would want you, you would get married. He told me no. There were girls who wanted him, and he didn't want, because he wanted love. So he didn't give up, and he continued. And after this, he found his wife, and like you can see, he has kids, and she's regular, and nothing is wrong. She's looking good, she's a good person, everything is good. And I think this Shabbos, I talked to her, and I asked her, it's not comfortable for me, but I need to ask you because this is my work. Like, why did you marry him? And she told me, why not? He's such a good person. Every person has a cons. But he has so many pros. And why she saw the pros and put the cons like small? Why? Because first of all, he saw himself like this. He saw himself like, I have so many pros. It won't prevent me to succeed and establish everything that I want, to get everything that I want. And because of, first of all, he saw himself like this, she saw him like this. Another story. Batel Porfira, you know her? You heard about her? She's very famous. She's an actress. Like you can see, she has the short arms and legs. She's very succeeding doing theater around the world. And she also has a great TED lecture. I really recommend to hear it, with millions of views. Very great story. And like also her, like think, she's so short. How she get married? Who will want her? And she didn't give up. And like you can see, succeeding life, being an actor since she was young. And after she grew up, she got married with him. And it's not just someone. She was passionate about him since the junior high. He was like the most popular, the most popular in the grade. And she wanted him since then, since he was 14, and they are married today. Like you can see why, because she doesn't see herself, her cons, but it's blocking her from succeed. So this is the conclusion that a successful man is more stronger than his own excuses. We all have excuses about why I can't, why it's hard, why it's not possible for me. But if you're stronger than that, then you can get the things that you want in all the areas of life, especially in a relationship. And it's starting with a term that's called internal focus of control. This is the things that if you start to change in your life, life is getting different. Like instead of blaming the friends that don't make enough effort to introduce us to someone, the Facebook algorithm is not working well to meet me with the one and only. The matchmaker don't do good work like Yosef.
Don't complain.
The apps are not working. Or women only look for money, or only appearance counts for men. Like all kinds of excuses that we can tell ourselves why it's not. When I stop blaming the outside and get into an inner sight and start figuring out what in myself I need to change, what I can do different, what I need to do to make it happen. This is the most important thing that we must start to change. And when we start taking responsibility of our life, like Nir Shamir did, we can do it. Like, think about it. If Nir Shamir did it, and Batel Porfira did it, someone of you cannot do it? Cannot get a good relationship? Huh? So we can all do it. So don't give up, guys. Do it because this is life. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it. Okay, that's for step number 2. Step number 3. So now we believe we know what its point to be. We aim for getting the second half, not getting only merit. Okay? And we believe now that we can get this goal, to find the real good one, that we can establish a passion and love relationship. Yes? Yes. Great. So now, what's the way? How I'm getting from A to B? What I need to do? So, what is coming to people that are looking for their second half? Mostly, how do you try to find them? So I did a poll once, and I saw most of them like searching in websites, going to dates with some friends are trying to match, and going dates, and all kind of things that people are doing. I looked at this and I saw that most of the people are only trying to get more dates, like to find with who to date with, and maybe then they will find the right match for them, right? And I want to say that going to a lot of dates, it's not a good thing. There is a very big price for that, that it's a wrong thing to do. Why it's wrong thing to do? Because it's wasting us a lot of energy, time, money. But what is the worst thing that can happen us when we go to a lot of dates? What we are losing? More?
Can't decide.
Exactly. The hardest thing that we can lose when we go to a lot of dates is our self-confidence. And when you lose yourself, like everyone have a suffering roof. Like you can try again and again and again. Finally, you start to say, maybe something is really wrong with me. Maybe it will never happen. They're losing the hope. So this is why it's so not a good thing to do, to go to always try to find only dates. And like, I'm not saying not to make an effort, but do an effort to go to dates, to try to meet someone, but make it much more effectively, with much more focus. And this is what I want to show you today, how to do it, to go to dates more effectively. The problem is not the lack of meeting, but something much deeper than that. So how we get focused and effective? We take it the gear down of trying always to find the second half and start searching for the first half. Start searching for us, for ourselves, for who we are. And even if it sounds simple, it's not that simple to find this, because sometimes we are, but we are not in our full potential. This is the gap that brings the frustration for us, first of all, and after that for the relationship. So how do we stop taking actions from the survival mind? Like when we are not in our full potential, in a good state of mind, we are start thinking from the survival mind, and I won't expand about it a lot, but it's really interesting to figure it out. In the AA method, we mostly working about the survival mind, not to think from here, but to think from here, from the cortex. And there is a way to change the thinking way. It's it wasn't time that we did it for showers and stuff. Yes. So we do all kinds of things to change really where we're thinking from. So when we are without a lot of confidence, we are thinking from the survival mind, the one with fear, trying to protect us. I think from I not want to get hurt. I want the relationship that will last. Why I want it to last? Because I fear that it won't. So when you think from there, you won't get the right decision. You need to change it. How we're changing it. So the way to changing it and to find the first self is to start fulfilling our life, with giving, with doing what we're meant to do here in this world. When we connect to our soul, to the thing that we need to do in every area in our life, in the world, like a lot of people think that the definition of living a fulfilling life is only on work. Work is really important because a lot of the hours of the day we are doing it work, and it's a really good platform to bring ourselves to the world. But it's not the only thing. We need to understand there's a lot more things to do that we need to change. This is one of the things that we are doing to examine where we are and what we need to change. So we need to do also build ourselves in all kinds of things, like about learning, spiritual development, our fitness. We need also habits and time to relax also. Getting even material things. It's really important. Even a car or a house that you want, sometimes you so want it because there is a thing about it. And a relationship with parents, with friends, the work that we are. When we balance it and bring it to the most best potential thing, the place that we can do with these things starting to change. Like you came early, you wake up early in the morning with a lot of energy, you smile, you enjoy yourself, because it's all another life, and you change everything, and how you look in everything. Like if a glass is broken, right? How do I react? You know? It's depend about my emotional state. Like if I had the worst day, right? You was in traffic and things got wrong, so you will be angry, right? You get furious, like what's happened? Why did you? And if you're in a good mood, in a good state, you can say, it's nothing, mazel tov, right? And because it depends about this. So if in life you change your energy by daily basis, not just taking drugs or alcohol, things we're changing for a amount of time, but you are different, you are with energy, you live well, then everything is go different. And then things are starting to change. And I want to ask you, I want every one of you to tell it to yourself, how happy you are in the last year, from 1 to 10. How happy you are?
5.
I did a 10, but I'm still not satisfied.
You're a fire element. Never satisfied. You want to eat the world. It's not enough. How happy you are in the last month?
8. I'm happy, but it's not like I don't have to clear everything off, but I'm pretty happy.
Great. And in the last week?
It's pretty happy. Same thing also, like I don't really have anything going on, but going through is good.
Very good. Great. Thank you for sharing. How happy you were today?
Not so much because I got stuck in traffic.
From 1 to 10. Thank you, sir.
I got stuck in traffic today.
Right. So, I'm going to ask you, would you get married to someone that is around 5 or 6?
Nope, he's one of my criteria.
No, right? So, if someone is around 5 or 6, you should change it. Yeah, so no one wants to date you. So, we must increase our energy on daily basis. We must, if we want someone that will be good, we need to change ourselves first. This is the reason why we need to first of all found ourselves. And I want to give you one of the key principles of the AA method. But it's what's special of this method that it's really rooted, like we are examining someone from is really saw like what element is, like fire, wind, water, earth, and really practical with really good tools. Like I'm learning from a world, like I'm doing a combining of the inner side of the Torah, also the therapy world, also the business world. Like I learned from the best in the world, also Tony Robbins. I'm here now because of the Tony events. And also the physical world, like I told you how to change the brain. It's very interesting, this world, and it's really practical. I will show you in a minute. So I want to teach you the cycle principle, and I want to take a decision today. What does it mean, the cycle principle? I don't have a whiteboard here. How is the time? Okay, I just need to show it a little bit. Think about like a circle, an inner circle, an inner, and a small circle inside, okay? Imagine it. And think about like the inner circle is me, the bigger circle is the relationship with the spouse, and after this the kids, and after the family, neighbors, and people I almost doesn't know, okay? And think like about a man who's doing a lot of grace, helping people, but first of all, we start from outside to inside, like helping the people. If someone in the street is asking for help, like of course, yeah, I'm sure, and he tell me I'm happy to help, and he's doing like this. And in the neighbors, he also helping the community. Sometimes helping the family, but the inside family, like his children, his wife, like he doesn't give any help. Do we call him a grace man? Do we call him? Can I call him like he's a very grace man? Yes?
No.
Like helping people.
Where's Keita?
He's a kind man.
Where is he?
Generous, yeah.
Very gracious.
Like he's a generous man.
Yep.
Yep.
He's helping a lot of people. What is helping? And we take another man, another person, but he's starting from the inner circle. He's starting for helping to his wife and his kids, and a little bit to his family, and he doesn't have time to help the community or to other people that he doesn't know. Can I call him a kind man?
Yep.
He's doing maybe less actions. What's the difference?
He's doing more actions. He's taking care of self first, and self is more important because you can't take care of others without taking care of yourself first.
Yeah. So what's the conclusion? Is if you start from the outside to the inner side, it's a lie. Because it can be that you help to all the people around you, but you don't help to the people who's near to you. So you can understand that if we're doing it, so the reason that he's doing it is because maybe he wants people to say about him he's a good man, he's a special man. This is the only reason, because if you really care about people and you really want to help them, how can it be that you don't help to the people who are close to you, right? So it's a lie. But if you start from the inner side and then only you go outside, this is saying that it's truth. This is why you really care, because I don't care what other people think about me. I care to help people, but maybe I don't have the ability to help the all people. But it's the right thing. So it's the different. So if I'm saying from outside to inside, it's a lie. From inside to outside, it's the truth, right? You agree?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the first circle that if I'm not starting from there, it's a lie? Who's the first circle? Exactly. Not the spouse, not the children is the most important. No. It's yourself. Okay? If you don't take care of yourself, you're a liar. If you clean your house only when people come to visit you, and you don't, it's not your standard to live in a clean house, you're a liar. You don't like yourself. If you only cooking and good meals when other people come, and to yourself you may be eating only junk food, you don't love yourself. It's a lie. We must start with ourselves. This is the only way to understand we really love each other. Love ourselves first, and only then we can see others and take care of them. So I want you all to take a decision. What you are going to invest in yourself. Do more. Raise the standards. What are you going to do? Take a decision. Like I said, if not, if you won't take a decision now, you will get out, and after a minute, you'll forget what we talked about, and nothing will change. If you want to change, you need to take a decision. Who took a decision? I want to share with us. We will get a free coach, and it's not cheap. Who wants to get a decision to share with us? I will help him to take it, to make it happen. I will show what's the problem about taking decisions.
Be focused on one thing at a time.
This is the decision,
To be focused on one thing at a time.
like mindfulness.
Mindfulness, correct.
Oh, great. So, it's a great example. He wants to get focused every time on one thing, to be really connected to it. But I'm not sure it's going to happen. And I tell you why. This is where the business world is getting in. Like the best thing to understand how to get goals is to learn businesses. How they are the specialists in getting goals, right? The big companies. So I will give you a few tools and learn from that. If you will say, I need to eat better, I need to start doing exercise and go to running, you know, mostly the most chance it won't happen. Why? Because we are not setting the goal right. Now learn how to set goal, okay? First of all, you need to be specific. Why is to be like, how many times it will happen? Let's be specific on what things you want to start being focused on.
Clear one project at a time, every day. Clear one project a day.
Which project? Be specific.
Sure. So I deal with insurance claims. So for example, if I'm dealing with a specific insurance claim, I want to knock out the picture report that day so I can pass it to my partner and let him handle everything else. If I'm dealing with anything that comes up to the table, I want to be able to stop and know that I've cleared one major task from my to-do list a day.
Great, but you can control the task. Maybe it's much more. More than that.
So when I
So
call
you
a
can
task,
change what you can control.
when I talk a task, I mean a task where I can pass it off my plate. Doesn't mean it's finished, doesn't mean it's finalized, it means I've controlled what I have the ability to control, and I pass it on.
Great. So you said you're going to focus on one project every day, to be on it until you finish it if you can.
Correct.
And don't go to the other one until
Correct.
you finish it. Great. So now it's much more practical, right? It's a
Yep.
bigger chance to make it happen. Like you can start with this tomorrow, right? So from tomorrow, you are not doing anything. You don't start another project until you finish the one you started, right?
Correct.
Give him an hand. He deserves it. Great. This is a great decision. Now it's specific. If time, he's going to start with tomorrow. And even if you don't be everything that you will do, you'll be focused on, like you can do it when you eat, when you take a shower. To be, you know the world of mindfulness. You heard about it? Very interesting. You should. It's a great method. Very powerful. But you can do it in everything. When you eat, you need to smell it, to feel it, to taste it, to hear it, right? So you will break after a day or two, in the good case, even if you will start. But if you will start with something very specific, this is where the change begins. So this is great. This is how we need to take a decision. Like everyone, like you want to start getting into fit, what I'm going to do, which day, how much time, with who. This is how we set goals that really change our life, and we start to invest in self. And only then, when we start to make an action to change our life, we start to really believe that we are the most important. We start to love ourselves. We start to think we worth the effort. And only then other people will recognize it and will be for us to, like in the same energy, like you are important. So this is why we start with ourselves. Yeah.
How does he gonna focus on one thing? Like, how does he gonna accomplish what he want to accomplish? Like, focus on one project that he gonna.
Like he won't start another project. Sometimes we start a few projects together, just this and this. So the decision, I'm not starting the second project, we are finished the one that's coming.
Remember, before I start, I'm setting myself up with a goal of what's called finished, which is what we basically outlined. That has to be concrete, has to be accountable. I can't say this is a project that I'm totally finished, which is what we got back to, where I'm passing it on off my plate. I'm doing a picture report, I'm passing it to my partner, let him handle it. It's at the point that I'm finishing the picture report. The entire claim is not handled, but the picture report is done. Or if I'm doing a detailed letter that I have to send out, that letter is going to be accomplished before I move on. So there's a clear goal, clear final point is where I can check it off the box and say, I've accomplished my task.
Yeah, great. You can also learn about the SMART model, how to set goals. It's very famous. You can see a lot of YouTubes about it and learn that, how to set goals that can go up. So the most biggest excuses that people have not to invest in themselves, they're saying, but I don't have the time. I don't have time to work out. I don't have the time to do spiritual things or everything that you want. This is the biggest excuses that people have. And we must change it. I'm telling you, time is a matter of how do you prioritize. I prioritize the thing with yourself. And if you change and prioritize and think and tell yourself this is the most important, then you can get it into your schedule. The other way, the other thing why people don't do the changes, they do it too extremely. Like sometimes people in the workshops that I did, like, since tomorrow morning, I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. and run every day 10 miles. Like, you can do it. You can't do it. Like, you will injure it. And when you go to sleep, and the people don't think about it, like, no, I will do it. Another 3 days, we stop. Don't be extreme. Think about how you can do it. Start small and then grow. Don't do extreme changes. It won't work, but start. Even if you do a small thing, it's another mindset, because the mindset when you do it, you need to think about, I'm investing myself. Like even if someone go to gym, every day for 3 hours workout, but all he think about in his mindset is what people think about me. How will I look good? How will I be stronger than him? When I will do more than him, he only go backwards because he only think about the external things. But only when he said about with the mindset, the same workout, but the mindset, I want to enjoy and feel so good after a workout. This is investing in yourself. This is what we need to do. The right action with the right mindset to invest in ourselves. It's pretty late, right? So I will show that, a few things. So I'm starting to summarize this. So after finding your first self, you will know better who is the second self and where you find it. Like some people like don't do anything, don't do workouts. right? And it doesn't bother them if you meet someone who doesn't do workouts, right? Because they don't do it themselves. But after someone is starting to like, it's a way of living, who is doing workout and he is sitting with someone who doesn't care about what he's eating and not do it himself, it will feel inconvenient. And this is how you start to finding who's the right one for me. Because it's come from the inside. You change, you are with another level of energy, so you can't go to a date with someone who is not in your level of energy. So we need to change ourselves. This is helping us to figure out to feel. Mostly the men need to know it. Feeling. Raise feelings, not in the head, feelings. Sometimes I say what you feel, and someone they tell me, I think it was very good. I didn't ask what you think, what you feel. Like, what is feeling? Feel, we need to feel. So you feel connected. How do you feel connected? By starting feeling yourself, to be more awareness. This is why mindfulness is a very great tool to practice every day, to start more being, to know what I feel. And
think of your partner as a puzzle piece. You're not looking for a perfect match. You're looking for a perfect match that fits you.
yeah, it's not perfect. It will never be perfect. But what is most important about the person that you want, it's that if you can change and he also can change, because people are changing. And if you don't do the changes, there will have a gap, and this is where the problem comes. So it will never be perfect, but if you can work on yourself, you will get improved and you will get through the challenges in your life. You need to be in a laser focus of our limits resource and bringing better results. Like I said, don't go to a lot of dates, don't spend the money, energy, time, and your self-confidence about dates that it's not good for you. You can know it, you can understand before. Pick it right and make most of the time about yourself and energy and money. I can tell you, like the UPW of Tony Robbins, we're doing, and we're starting tomorrow. I did it already twice. I did it in Zoom. After this, I was a crew in the event. And now I'm coming. I did all the workshops of Tony Robbins except for one. Like I did everything. I invested thousands of dollars about it, and it was great workshops. And I'm going tomorrow. The most important reason is the energy. To be in life, to feel it, to change myself, to see it, to live even if small thing. This is changing our life. It's different life. So we need to invest our resources in these things to develop ourselves. And the meetings, when you change yourself, the meeting will be with much higher chance, because think about it, with who you love to be. Like I can tell you, I'm going to take you to a special hotel and a special attractions, but you're going with someone who's so depressed and always complaining. You will go with him?
Yeah.
You won't enjoy, right? Because you can't enjoy with someone who's not with a good energy. So first of all, we need to change our energy, and then people will want to be with us. If you're with good energy, people will want to match you someone, because you're such a great guy, such a great girl, and I want to meet you someone because you're so great. So this is the most important thing. And also, it's the most important thing for the married themselves, because when you have a great energy and something is happened, like you're taking it easily, and everything looks different, and if something is bothering you, say it with a good energy, and the other person doesn't get offended. And this is the key to a good relationship for long term. And the first step is to do whatever it takes to find. We don't have the time, like to find the second, how to find it. I'm bringing tools from the business world, like really how to find, like how to get a goal, like a business, how to find it, I don't know if you know the terms, like to search the right avatar. It's like the ideal customer and all these kind of things from the business world, and it's really powerful. but I'm not expanding about it because mostly people like give me, in Hebrew we say the tachlis. Give me the, yeah, say how do I do it? And not, but don't pass the steps, like start with the right one, start with yourself and only then finding the right one because it's so much changing. And we need to change the equation. This is the most important thing. Like, don't think like, when I will get married, then I will be happy. The right equation is, if I will be happy, then I will get married. This is the thing that we need to work on, mostly. Because it's a common sense, like I said. People want to be with happy people. And I will show it. People think it will take years. Wow, to find myself, to find what I love, to make the changes. No, I'm telling you, people make changes in 2 or 3 months if they're focusing and doing the right process. I think Chaim can say it, you show it right in the workshop. People doing a very fast, I'm not selling it, like I'm not doing this workshop, so, but I'm just saying, if you're doing it right, like I know the therapy world, I came from the therapy world and it can take years, right? But with the business world and the physiology world, it's very fast. You can do changes very fast and fun and easy. Like it's really great methods. So it doesn't take years. And once Lincoln said that a very important message, he said, if I had an axe and I needed to cut a tree cut trees for 8 hours, 6 hours I would invest of sharpening the axe. So sharp yourself, this will give the results. And I want to finish with a story. Once when I was working, in the first training in the army, like as a young soldier, we have like this, how do you call it, like a ceremony, but when we end the day, we need to stand in an order, and our sergeant, the most fearful, in every set, like this sharp, it's like you, and the sergeant, the most fearful commander, is doing this thing, and he's checking us. Like when we go to sleep in the army, you need to go to sleep when everything is checked and ready for combat. So every day he come and he checks that everything is okay, the weapons, the stretcher, the radio, jerrycan, the water bottle, and everything is checking. And like it's one of the most hardest time in the day of the soldier, because like it's the end of the day, and all day they like rip you off, and now we just want to finish the day normally and go to shower and go to sleep. So it's very tense and it's very hard, and he's like giving us 5 minutes. It's called Shimun Shmira, standing. And when he starts the time, everyone is running and shouting. Someone will bring the stretch, someone fill the water, someone will check the radio, someone will oil the guns, and always shouting and running and a lot of pressure. And one of the time, our platoon command heard this and saw that and came to us, told us all to stand again, and started shouting at us. Who do you call for? Someone will bring, someone will check, someone will open. Who's someone? Someone didn't pass the exam to come to the special unit. Someone didn't came to Givati Brigade, he went to Golani. Someone couldn't be a fighter. There is no someone. If you will do it, no one will do it. And I'm telling you, if you think if someone will match you, someone will make you happy, if someone will make you feel beautiful, it won't happen. You need to do it. And if you won't do it, no one will do it. So I wish you to find your first love and then find the second love and establish a relationship with a lot of love. Say amen. Amen. Bezrat Hashem. And Yosef will be the shaliach and the rabbi that will get you married. And you will come to Israel, Bezrat Hashem. Say amen. Amen. And thank you for being it's late, so I won't do Q&A. If someone wants to say something, you can be here. And we also want to open a WhatsApp group for more contact in English that I'm starting to do if you want to join. And also I'm in the net, everything. So thank you very much. And happy to see you.